All right now, we about to dig into the shenanigans of folly. So go and get your Bibles, get your coffee, get your tea, or child, just get your headphones. Let's get it, let's go.
My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, if you have shaken hands and pledged for a stranger, you have been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the words of your mouth. So do this, my son, to free yourself. Since you have fallen into your neighbor's hands, go to the point of exhaustion and give your neighbor no rest. Allow no sleep to your eyes, no slumber to your eyelids. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hands of a hunter, like a bird from the snare of a fowler. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores up its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest. How long will you lie there, you sluggard? When will you get up from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man, a troublemaker and a villain, who goes about with a corrupt mouth, who winks maliciously with his eye, signals with his feet, and motions with his fingers, who plots evil with deceit in his heart. He always stirs up conflict. Therefore, disaster will overtake him in an instant. He will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. There are 6 things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him: haughty eyes, lying lips, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. My son, keep your father's command and do not forsake your mother's teaching. Bind them always on your heart. Fasten them around your neck. When you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you wake, they will speak to you. For this command is a lamp. This teaching is a light, and correction and instruction are a way to life, keeping you from your neighbor's wife, from the smooth talk of a wayward woman. Do not lust in your heart after her beauty, or let her captivate you with her eyes. For a prostitute can be had for a loaf of bread, but another man's wife preys on your very life. Can a man scoop fire into his lap without his clothes being burned? Can a man walk on hot coals without his feet being scorched? So is he who sleeps with another man's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. People do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his hunger when he is starving. Yet if he is caught, he must pay 7-fold, though it costs him all the wealth of his house. But a man who commits adultery has no sense. Whoever does so destroys himself. Blows and disgrace are his lot, and his shame will never be wiped away. For jealousy arouses a husband's fury, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. He will not accept any compensation. He will refuse a bribe, however great it is.
Let's go ahead and take a closer look into Proverbs 16, where God says that where Solomon says, there are 6 things
that the Lord hates. 7 that are detestable to him. Haughty eyes, or in other versions, it's considered a proud look. A lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. I find all of these very valid, detestable things, and I don't think anyone likes any of these traits in people, especially a liar. No one likes a liar. No one likes a liar. And lying seems to be a reoccurring theme in a lot of these. You have a lying tongue. You have someone that devises wicked schemes that most notably includes some sort of a lie, right? Feet that rush quick to evil. False witness is definitely a liar, okay? And people that are pot stirrers, gossipers, there's always some underlying lie in the process. So I think it's very interesting to see these 7 things outlaid here. You know, we've heard the 7 deadly sins, etc., but to actually see it professed and clearly outlined, I love it. I love it because this is something that goes on daily, and it clearly states here that the Lord detests it. Like, he finds it an abomination, right? But it happens daily like it's nothing. People lie without second thought. People kill people. Innocent blood means someone that didn't deserve it. Innocent blood means an abortion. Innocent blood means a child. Innocent blood is innocent blood, no matter what you say. Devising wicked schemes, how am I going to rob this person? How am I going to set up this person? Etc., etc. It's a daily. It's like we've almost become desensitized to it. So I love that it's pointed out here, and that unfortunately, since that time to this, nothing has changed. Let's go ahead and dig into our definitions. I've lined out 4 here. We have sluggard, wayward, bind, and of course, folly, which is the main theme of chapter 6 here. A sluggard is a lazy, sluggish person, a habitually inactive or lazy person. We don't really use sluggard as much in today's terminology, but basically it's someone that is lazy, someone that just don't do. We often disguise it and describe it and give it the excuse of depression. Like, why didn't you clean your house? Why are you just laying on the couch and not bathing? Why are you not doing? Oh, I'm depressed. You know what I mean? Depression may include the spirit of a sluggard, but at the end of the day, if you're not moving and you're choosing not to move, you're a sluggard. Okay? A wayward person is someone that is difficult to control or predict because of their unusual or perverse behavior. They are unaccountable, deliberate, and unprovoked in inclinations. To bind means to tie or to fasten something tightly, to hold or restrict it by force or obligation. And folly means that you lack some good sense, honey. It's foolishness. Foolish or crazy behavior or unwise. 3 of these words I want to dig just a little bit deeper into. And let's go ahead and talk about the sluggard just a little bit more. A sluggard will make excuses to not do something. This is a person that will not take care of their responsibilities. You give them, the outlay or the outline of what they need to do or why they need to do it, and they will come at you with every reason in the world as to why they are not or cannot do it.
That's a sluggard. That means you are habitually lazy and you just don't want to. And you're going to figure out any way possible to not do it. That's a sluggard. A wayward person, you are disobedient, point blank period. And you are in a backslidden state and you're stubborn in being wrong. Like you cool with it. Like I'm going to do what you made the conscious decision to be disobedient. You know in your mind that you have backslidden away from the Lord and you are stubborn in that moment. You're like, I don't want to. That is someone that knows that you are doing wrong, yet you continue in it anyway. Just a quick example. Let's go ahead and jump into bind just a little deeper. Okay, just deep diving just a little deeper on that. Because when we bind things or when you hear the word bind, you might think of it always as a bad thing. Okay, but it's not necessarily so. And to bind means simply to restrain or forbid movement, to tie down and restrict progress. What do I mean by that? So if we are binding spirits, you're associating binding with a negative thing, right? You have this negative thing that you're binding. You're tying it down. You're stopping it. You're restricting its movement. You're saying, not in my life, not today, not ever. The devil is a liar. Okay. That's a form of binding, but also you can bind good things. And in essence, when the Lord tells you to bind my words, my ways to your heart, you're tying and binding something good. So it can work both ways. I just wanted to point that out. Two key scriptures from this chapter that stuck out to me were in chapter 6 were verses 1 through 2. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, if you have shaken hands and pledged for a stranger, you have been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the words of your mouth. Taken without experience, taken not knowing the context and understanding what is being said here, this might not make a hill of beans of sense, but let me break it down for you in common terms. You have a friend, and this friend, we'll just say, is a sluggard, okay? He makes excuses to not do stuff all the time. Let's say this friend is a wayward friend and often is very disobedient, okay? But for whatever reason, this is your friend. You guys have been friends since kindergarten, and somehow, some way, this friend has never done anything wrong to you. But nevertheless, this person does not keep a job. Nevertheless, this person is just rocking with disobedience, full on and strong. Anyway, said friend. Here's the example to make this passage make sense to you. This friend comes to you and says, man, I can't keep a job, but I got hired for this really good job and it pays X amount of money, but I don't have a car. And I can't get a car because I have bad credit. However, I found a car and I have this job and I have this down payment, but I still can't get the car unless I have a cosigner. And you have good credit and XYZ. If you cosign for me, then I can, get this job and keep it, and I can get there and this, that, and the third. And you, being stupid or ignorant, is what I'm meaning in the stupid case. I mean, you're just simple in this case. You just don't get it. You go and cosign for this car. Okay? What you have done is you've made yourself financially responsible for an irresponsible person's bill. Whether this person makes the payment or not, whether this person goes and gets the money, stays on the job, whatever, you are responsible. As soon as you signed your name, you are now held accountable with your word and your signature. So they are not going to care if Joe Schmo pays them or not, because they're coming for you. Okay? You guaranteed the loan with your signature. That's what that means. So if you have spoken and put your foot down for
a neighbor or a stranger, you are now indebted or bound or tied to that agreement. And that's something that you just shouldn't do. You shouldn't purposely ensnare yourself to anybody else, okay, in that way. So let me read that again and see if it makes more sense now. My son, if you have put up security, meaning you have put up your money, you have put up your reputation. This also goes for people. Let me pause there so I can give you a better example. This also goes for people that will put up their house or their vehicle to bond someone out, to give it as a security, to bond someone out. Okay? The same thing. If your friend doesn't show up to court, if your friend skips out on bail, you now are at risk of losing your car and losing your home. You have put yourself on the line for somebody else in a way that you never should have. God never intended for you to do that. So let me read this again. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, if you have shaken hands in pledge for a stranger, you have been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the words of your mouth. Seems very simple and you can really gloss over it, but I mean, knowledge is being spit right here. Okay? This is meant for your good. Don't do it. The second one that stuck out to me was Proverbs 6:34. My son, keep your father's command and do not forsake your mother's teaching. Bind. This is that good bind, okay? Bind them always on your heart. Fasten them around your neck. Meaning, if you don't forsake, we already talked about this in our previous lesson. Forsaking means that you purposely turn away from something, you purposely don't intend on returning to it. So if you keep your father's command, okay, if you do what God tells you to do, and you don't forsake your mother's teaching, okay, that love, that affection, that wisdom, and you bind these things into your heart, that means they're not going nowhere, because what's in the heart comes out of the mouth, comes out in your actions. Fasten them around your neck, then you are going to be good to go. Those are really some ones that stuck out to me. I hope they make sense and stick out to you as well. And the digger deep on the definitions, I felt those were important. So right now we're going to go ahead and jump into our real life scenario. After that, we'll jump into the other ones. And I really want to focus on the other ones, on some of these 7 that the Lord detests. Specifically, false witness, y'all. A lot of false witnesses out here, and it's not cool. It's not cool at all. We're going to focus on that. After that, we will jump into journaling. So if you have your journal, go ahead and journal with me, and then we'll wrap this up with a conclusion.
Petition is granted.
The end of Brian Banks' ordeal was marked by tears after a judge threw out the rape charge that had sent him to prison for more than 5 years.
My only dream in the world was to just be free and to have the same opportunity as everybody here.
He was a 16-year-old star linebacker with a full-ride scholarship to USC and a dream to play in the NFL, when in 2002, a classmate accused Banks of raping her in the stairwell of their Long Beach high school. Although Banks insisted it was consensual and there was no sex, he told KCBS-TV that his defense attorney at the time gave him a choice: plead no contest to rape or risk a trial that could send him to prison for life.
When you go into that courtroom, the jury is going to see a big black teenager, and you're automatically going to be assumed guilty. Those are her exact words.
He took the deal, went to prison, and had to register as a sex offender. He thought that was the end of it. But after he was released, came a surprise: a friend request on Facebook from his accuser, Juanetta Gibson.
I remember closing the laptop just like real quick and just like thinking, like, what did I just see?
So Banks arranged a meeting with a private investigator who videotaped the whole thing.
No, he did not.
Gibson later explained she hadn't wanted to say that publicly for fear of losing a $1.5 million settlement that her family had gotten after suing the school district.
I may not ever get the answers as to why I was supposed to go through what I went through, but I know that I'm here today and I remain unbroken.
Unbroken and working to get his life back on track. Those dreams of playing in the NFL, he says, might be realized yet. Lee Cowan, CBS News, Los Angeles.
He is like a star. He works on the show Empire.
Police body camera video shows the moment officers first arrived at Jussie Smollett's apartment after the actor claimed he'd been attacked. Smollett still has what appears to be a noose around his neck.
Do you want to take it off or anything? Yeah, I do. I just wanted y'all to see.
Smollett told police he was assaulted by two masked men, yelling racist and homophobic slurs.
Smollett paid $3,500 to stage this attack and drag Chicago's reputation through the mud in the process.
Police say Smollett paid brothers Abel and Ola Osendiro to stage the attack because he was angry over his salary. The brothers told police Smollett paid them to conduct the attack.
I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one.
Smollett, who's maintained his innocence, was arrested and later charged with 16 felony counts for lying to police, charges that were later dropped by the Cook County State's Attorney's Office.
Hi, I'd like to report a potential drunk driver. I'm a little worried for her kid. We're at Safeway getting signatures, and she was talking to the people and just like slurring her words, and her eyes were curling around. She's got her daughter with her, and I'd hate to see her get in an accident.
Hello, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yep, you broke up a little bit. Where exactly are they located?
We're in the Safeway parking lot, and they're loading their car now, and I'm just worried she's intoxicated with her daughter.
Okay, and what makes you believe that she's intoxicated?
She came up to our two volunteers and started repeating herself, slurring her words. Her eyes, she were twitching back and forth, and they're like, I think she's really drunk. And she wasn't harassing them like we've gotten, but she was just combative a little bit. And then when I checked out, she couldn't figure out how to self-check out. She couldn't hit the buttons right. So I didn't want there to be an accident and a little girl in a car and not at least call just to make sure.
Okay, what type of vehicle is that?
She is in a Chevy. Hold on.
What's the female look like? Is she white, Hispanic,
brunette?
Black, Hispanic?
Yeah, she's Caucasian, brunette, probably late 40s, with a girl that looks under 10.
Okay, when did she last?
Do you have a driver's license on you by any chance? So, what we got going on tonight?
Excuse me?
What do we have going on tonight?
Who do we have going on?
What do we have going on tonight?
Grocery shopping for my family.
Okay. So, another question for you. Have we had anything to drink tonight?
Me?
Yes. Okay. Do you have a child with you?
No.
Okay.
Why?
Said that you had a small kid with you.
Who did?
A caller said that you had a small
for
kid.
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a kid. Do we see?
No, I mean, I can.
Yeah, I've got groceries in the back,
Gotcha.
and I've got a car seat.
Okay.
But my kids are home with my husband right now.
Gotcha. You wouldn't by any chance have any idea on you, just saying that I'm in contact with you.
For sure. A caller?
Yeah.
Saying that I'd had something to drink?
Yeah, and then you had a small child with you. Yeah.
That's interesting. Well,
Is there...
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
what's
there's
going on?
possibly a reason for that.
Okay.
These ladies over here are trying to recall my husband from the school board. And I saw a woman in there that really doesn't like us. And I kind of wonder, maybe she did something.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't even drink. So, yes, I'm happy to show you my ID.
Okay.
And whatever else you need.
We'll come to you. Do we have RP's name? Might hit your car.
So it sounds a little bit like that might be abuse of the process.
A little bit.
That's concerning.
Yeah, we'll have a chat with that person too.
Yeah, I'd like to know what they actually observed.
Step back a little. Is she the one standing at the door right now? Behind us? Move out of her way real quick. Oh, she must have gone back inside.
She have a black hoodie on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like Asian, possibly. Yeah. Can we go
And shorts?
Can you hear us?
She has gotten up in public and said horrible things about my family.
211 copy.
That's recorded.
Okay.
She has issues with me.
Okay.
So,
You would know her
and-
name by
and
any
my
chance, would you?
Sam Peck. Is that the
okay.
one? Yeah.
You want me to have a chat?
She's over there.
Yeah.
She's right there. Here you go.
Where's she?
I think I just saw her walking around.
That's not her there.
211. Is that bad for you, ma'am?
Thank you.
Okay. Well, we haven't had anything to drink tonight or anything like that. I'm not getting any odors from you or anything.
I'm chewing gum.
Okay.
I've got ice cubes in my
Gotcha.
mouth. I don't drink. No, I'm getting groceries for my kids. Like I said, there's some folks over there trying to recall my husband from the school board. And the woman who I think probably called, not a fan of my family's. So
Gotcha.
I would suspect that's what's going on.
Did you have someone help you during checkout?
Yes.
Was it her?
Nope. No. No, I had an assistant manager help me. Okay. I had a coupon issue.
You had what?
A coupon issue.
A coupon?
Coupon?
Oh, coupon. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought they said poop on a shoe. I was like,
No, no coupon
okay.
issue tonight, although as a mom I've had it a few times.
Yeah,
No, a coupon issue. So,
okay. All right. Well,
anything you guys need to do?
would come to 11. Can I get last 3?
Would they say I was drunk?
211 copy.
Seriously?
Yeah. I just want to talk to you, and I mean, even just talking with you and stuff like that. You're not slurring your words or any statements that the reporting party had claimed. I'm not getting any of that. Sorry for wasting your time.
No, it's all right. You guys are just doing your job.
Yes, ma'am. Like I
I'm
said,
sorry that you guys had your time wasted, because I think this is probably personal.
we can we'll make it worth our time. That's false reporting. So.
It is false reporting.
Yeah. So.
I take that seriously too. My husband and I are both attorneys, and not cool.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
all right.
Yep. Nope. Sorry to waste your time,
No,
and
no
hopefully I'm not.
worries. Appreciate you guys stopping.
Yeah, I'm blocking you, so let me back up real quick, and I'll let you move my car, and then we're gonna go speak with RP. Sounds like false reporting, targeting. I don't know if he explained it to you. Yeah.
One shy of.
All right, Mary, thanks. A leader of the committee attempting to oust multiple Woodland Park school board members was arrested after calling the cops on a current school board member's wife.
Investigative reporter Dan Beatty is live in studio after speaking with a woman accused of making false reports to Woodland Park police. Dan.
Police say Samantha Peck called authorities in Woodland Park about a suspected drunk driver at a local grocery store in late July. Now tonight, she's facing 2 criminal charges, attempting to influence a public servant and making a false report to police. Samantha Peck was booked into the Teller County Jail Tuesday. She bonded out Wednesday. Woodland Park Police Chief Chris Deisler says Peck reported a suspected drunk driver at the Woodland Park Safeway on July 24th and personally knew the suspect as the wife of the vice president of the Woodland Park School District. Peck is a leading member of the recall committee trying to oust multiple Woodland Park School Board members, including Vice President David Illingworth. 2 recall vote petitions were filed through the Teller County Clerk's office on Monday. The release from Woodland Park Police goes on to say Peck told authorities Illingworth's wife was attempting to drive away with a young child in her vehicle. A police investigation did not substantiate any of the findings from Peck, and a warrant was issued for her arrest. Peck declined to speak with 13 Investigates for now, but she did provide us with a brief statement saying in part, "I look forward to clearing my name and sharing the whole truth with our community." Peck is scheduled to be in court for the first time in late August. Reporting in studio, Dan Beatty, 13 Investigates.
Dan, thanks.
Hey, thank you for sticking around and making it this far. You are a superstar. Proverbs was a great study. Most of us have heard of the 7 deadly sins, right? Pride, greed, wrath, envy, lust, gluttony, sloth, okay? But let's just be honest. At least I'm going to be honest. How many of us have actually heard or knew of the 7 specific things that God detests or considers an abomination? I mean, did you know about the haughty eyes, or liars, or killers of innocent blood, or those that just go looking for trouble, or false witnesses, or as I like to call them, pot stirrers? I think it was a really good eye-opening chapter. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, because think about it. How many people are really guilty of this and just either don't know or don't care? So I like the information that was shared here. But in all seriousness, this is why it's so important to be in God's face and be in his word, so that you can learn his character, learn who he is, know what he likes. So this is why we do it. This is why we dig deeper. This is why we study our Bibles. And I just think that's amazing. So what was your favorite part of scripture? Go ahead and drop a comment down below letting me know. And of course, if you took the time to journal with me, go ahead and share it with me on Instagram and tag me and use the hashtag journal with me. I would love to see your beautiful thoughts and creations. I would love to see it, okay? And if you like this video, go ahead and smash the like button if you haven't already, and consider subscribing if you have not already. Okay, that's all I have for now. So shalom, okay, and matane.